Chapter 7, The Shadow Over the City. At exactly 21:00 hours, the first dispatcher froze at her console. Not because of the screen. Because of the sound coming through her headset. Please, please, it's not a dog. The caller was female, in her mid-30s maybe, and breathless. There was traffic noise, screaming somewhere close, and a sharp metallic crash that made the dispatcher flinch. "Ma'am, slow down," dispatcher Elena Ruiz said automatically, fingers already moving. "Tell me where you are." I don't know, it came out of the park, it's striped, oh my God." The line cut. Elena stared at the dead channel for half a second before flagging it and moving on. She didn't have time to think. Not yet. By 21:02, every line was lighting up. Calls stacked faster than they could be cleared. The system beeped warnings she'd only ever seen in drills. Overflow queues are filled. Supervisors moved behind the rows of desks, whispering, pointing, and with faces tight. "Elena," someone called. "You've got another priority one." She accepted it. A man this time, older, breathing hard. "There's a bear," he said. Silence followed, heavy and absolute. "A bear," he repeated louder, "in the street. It knocked over a car, I swear to God." "Sir," Elena said carefully, "what is your location?" "Near the zoo. I'm not drunk, I'm not crazy." "It's bleeding and it's scared," and a crash and a woman screaming. The man shouted something incoherent and then the call ended in static. Elena swallowed. She tagged it as a possible animal strike and sent it up the chain, even as her screen lit up again. By 21:05, dispatchers had stopped correcting callers. They stopped saying, "Are you sure?" They stopped asking whether it could be something else because every description matched: striped, tawny, massive, low to the ground, too fast, too quiet. And every reported location formed a pattern no one wanted to name. All of them radiated outward from the zoo. "Supervisor," Elena said, lifting one side of her headset. "These animals, every caller is describing zoo animals." Her supervisor didn't answer right away. He was listening to another call, his face pale. At 21:07, confirmation came through. It was the zoo, containment failures, multiple unknown scope. The room changed instantly, dispatchers straightened, voices lowered. Training took over, but fear rode just beneath it, sharp and electric. "Okay," the supervisor said, clapping once. "Everyone, listen. We are treating this as a mass casualty, multi-zone emergency. Do not speculate with callers. Do not minimize. Get locations. Get people inside if possible. Stay calm." He paused. "Police are en route. Animal control is..." He stopped himself. "Animal control is being mobilized." No one laughed. At 21:09, Elena took a call she would remember for the rest of her life. 911, "What's your emergency?" There was screaming on the other end, high-pitched, a child. "Mama, mama," a woman's voice broke through, frantic. "My daughter, she's stuck. She fell, please, please." "Ma'am, where are you?" We were walking by the fence, the zoo fence, and people started running and something howled in the background, not a roar, a laugh, a high and broken, creepy, wild laugh. Elena felt the hair on her arms rise. "Ma'am," she said, keeping her voice steady through sheer force of will. "I need you to tell me exactly where." The mother screamed, not words, just sound. Then the daughter again, crying, calling for her mother. The laughing sound grew louder, closer. "No, no, no, stay back, stay back." The line cut mid-scream. Elena tore her headset off. "I need a trace on that last call," she said, her voice shaking despite herself. Now, her supervisor was already there, hands on her console. "Got it," he said quietly. "We've got units moving." Neither of them said what they were thinking. By 21:12, reports of hyenas came in from 3 different blocks. No one believed it at first. Then the audio clips started circulating, short, shaky videos uploaded by terrified civilians. In the background of one, unmistakable even through compression and fear, was the sound of something laughing where no human should be. At 21:14, a dispatcher in the next row began to cry silently while still taking calls. No one told her to stop. They didn't have enough people. At 21:16, police units began reporting visual confirmation. "Command, this is Unit 12. We have eyes on a large feline. It appears to be a lion, moving eastbound through traffic. Negative on containment." Repeat, negative. The transmission dissolved into chaos as shouting erupted over the radio. The dispatcher handling police channels stared at her screen, lips parted. "This is real," she whispered. It had always been real. But now there was no distance left. Calls came in faster, a restaurant barricaded from the inside, a bus driver refuses to open the doors. A man trapped on a fire escape, whispering because something was moving below him. A mother hiding in a bathroom with 3 kids, asking if lions could open doors. Alina answered without thinking. No, she said. They can't. Stay quiet. Stay where you are. She hoped it was true. At 21:21, power flickered across several blocks near the zoo, dispatch screens dimmed, then stabilized on backup systems. The building hummed differently now, as if it were holding its breath. Emergency management wants a situational report, the supervisor said. They want to know how many animals. The dispatcher laughed hysterically. How many? She said. How many what? No one answered. At 21:24, another call came in, cut short almost immediately. All Alina heard was breathing, fast and panicked, and then that same laughing sound closer than before. The caller whispered, "It's right outside. Gone." Alina removed her headset again, pressing her fingers into her eyes. She had never been afraid of animals. She was afraid now, not of teeth or claws, but of how fragile everything suddenly felt. How thin the barrier had been between a controlled city and something older, stronger, and completely indifferent. By 21:27, hospitals were calling dispatch instead of the other way around. They wanted to know what was coming. No one had an answer. At 21:30, the first official alert went out to the public: shelter in place, avoid parks and open areas. Follow instructions from the authorities. It felt small, it felt inadequate, and it was already too late for some. Alina took another call, a man whispering from a closet. "I can hear it breathing," he said. "I don't think it knows I'm here. Stay quiet," she said gently. "Help is coming." She didn't know if that was true. At 21:34, the dispatch center fell into a grim rhythm, fear contained just enough to function. Outside, the city screamed. Inside, voices stayed calm because they had to. And somewhere between the broken calls, the cut lines, and the laughter echoing through dead air, it became clear to everyone in that room. All the animals being reported belonged in the zoo. And now the zoo belonged to the city.